Wonderful. Welcome this evening. We're so glad to have you here. Before we get started with our presentation, I'm going to go ahead and just go over a quick little housekeeping items. First and foremost, your cameras and your microphones are off this evening, so we cannot see or hear you. So if you're looking for the camera or the microphone button, don't worry about it. There won't be one that exists for this type of presentation in the webinar format. Since we are in the webinar format, it's really important that we get some interaction with you. So there is a Q&A function that we would encourage you all to use throughout the presentation. You go to the bottom of your screen, you'll just click on it and type your question, and it'll go directly to our presenters. You can send questions throughout the presentation for them. We'd also encourage you, if you like this session or if you've been to other sessions and you'd like to see more, to sign up for more sessions as you can. If you go to IACAC.org, you can register for more sessions like this, and you can also see all of the recordings from sessions maybe that you've missed or that you won't be able to attend. Or if you like the session a ton and you want to go back and watch it again, then you can do that as well. But without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to our presenters, Stephanie and Tyler. Thank you so much.
How's it going, everybody? Stephanie, if you don't mind pulling up that first slide for me, please. While she's doing that, I'm just going to introduce myself. My name is Tyler Olson. I'm one of the freshman admission counselors here at good old Lewis University. So I work primarily with students coming from Lake County and McHenry County, but also all the students coming from Indiana and Missouri. So what you see here on your screen is something for you to scan. So you can either scan this through your normal camera app or through Snapchat. This will take you to a little question just to kind of see about where you're coming from. That way we all kind of just get to know each other a little bit, just seeing where everybody's coming from. So go ahead and activate that for me, Stephanie. Thank you. So we'll just do this for a couple minutes, not too long, just to kind of, like I said, see where everybody's at, and we'll have Stephanie introduce herself as well.
Hello, everyone. My name is Stephanie, and I work with schools such as Oswego East. Yay, wonderful. Also Plainfield. So if you have any questions, I'm definitely here to help out. I also speak Spanish, so if you have parents, family members that would prefer to speak with someone in Spanish, I'll definitely be of assistance. I can help you guys out as well. Ooh, we have good schools.
We do, in fact. We also have another counselor with us as well. It's not Jacob Perry, but it is David Anderson. So we had a little bit of a switch up with the presenters today. I'm not very familiar with a lot of his schools just yet, but you'll get all of our contact information at the end of the presentation, but you can also find everything through our website as well. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and start the presentation just so, Lockport, welcome, and also Niles. But we're going to go ahead and start the presentation just so we don't run out of time here. So like I mentioned, we are the counselors of Lewis University. So if you are not very familiar with Lewis, we are a mid-sized university. So that means that we have about 6,400 students enrolled with us. So out of that 6,400, there are around 4,200 undergrad students. So everybody doing the next 4 years of schooling. We are also a Catholic Lasallian university. So what that means is that we do what we can and provide every effort to allow for students to obtain an education and be there for you as well. Just kind of being there to help in your path and your efforts to obtain an education. We are also a liberal arts school. What this means is that you will get a well-rounded education. So you won't only take classes within your fields, but you will also take some classes within humanities or science, art, a lot of different classes that you'll be taking. This also gives you an opportunity to experiment a little bit with the arts as well, such as music, drawing, painting, theater, anything of those sorts. So continuing on, what we try to emphasize here is we focus on complete development, like I mentioned with those classes within humanities, arts, but just a well-rounded education for yourself, making you into what we call a master learner. We also embrace diversity along with value community. Community is a big thing that we emphasize here at Lewis. It's very difficult for you to go from one end of campus to another without seeing at least 2 to 3 people that you know. It also gives you a lot of opportunity to get that one-on-one attention with professors. They like to make those connections with you to be able to, as I mentioned before, help you along your path, making sure that you are getting to the place where you want to be, making sure that you are growing, developing, and succeeding within your education here. So just a little breakdown of who's on campus, just some of our demographics. We are a Catholic institution, like I mentioned, so 52% of our population is Catholic. We have 34% minority students with a female to male ratio of 54% to 46%. We are a heavier Illinois resident student school. A lot of our students come from the Chicagoland area, but we also have 33 states represented, along with over 50 countries represented as well. Like I said, it's a very diverse and engaging campus. So we're gonna go into the academics a little bit, but what we're gonna do now is just kind of pull up another questionnaire for you. So go ahead and take your phones back out, and we're gonna go into another little engaging thing for you. So feel free to, once again, scan that code. Stephanie, don't go ahead and deactivate that one. We're gonna scan this code or use the hashtag. That's actually right behind your event is ready. And just let us know what you're interested in studying before we move on. Just so we kind of know what we're kind of dealing with and what kind of population and everybody's kind of looking to get into. Radiology and nursing, some pretty good ones there. Oh, so as you see them getting bigger, that means more people are saying that specific one. So I'm assuming 1 or 2 other people have said nursing. Anything else? Anybody looking for aviation? Oh, we got teaching in there. Nice, I like it. Elementary teaching. Ooh, translator. That would be a good one. No aviation yet. Okay. No one wants to get into aviation. That's cool. It's very rare to see a presentation where nobody's interested in aviation. So this is nice. All right, so we're going to go ahead and move on here. Give me 1 second to pull this back up. All right, perfect. So all great answers, and I love that everybody has some kind of idea of what they're looking to start their education in, because that's a big part of choosing a college. So we do have 80+ majors and minors here. This gives you the opportunity to look around a little bit, just kind of feel out some classes. So our top majors are nursing, aviation, education, criminal justice, and business. So we have aviation, nursing, criminal justice, business, and psychology. I'm realizing now that this is not the updated one, but we'll make sure you get the updated information once we get after this presentation. So we do have a 13-to-1 student to faculty ratio. What that means is that we have smaller class sizes. That's one thing that you're going to find at a mid-sized liberal arts school like ourselves, is that we really emphasize the small class sizes. So this way you are able to interact with the professor in the classroom rather than be a part of a bigger lecture hall. Average class size with us is about 23 to 25 students per classroom. As you can see on the right side of the screen, 90% of our classes have fewer than 30 students within the classrooms. Like I said, gives you an opportunity to be engaged within the classroom, get your questions answered, make the connection with the professor, but also be able to interact with your classmates a little bit more as well. So what we offer at Lewis with academics specifically is, like I mentioned, the smaller class sizes. You get to make a personal connection with your professors, engage with them in the classroom, but also outside as well. They all have open door policies and office hours for you to go in afterwards, after class, to get some help if you need it. We also don't have any GAs or TAs, which just means no graduate assistants or teaching assistants teaching the classes for you. So everything that you learn comes from the professor rather than another student. We also emphasize a lot of hands-on learning for our students. This happens a lot starting your sophomore year. This way you're able to start getting that real life experience under your belt while you go through your classes. So this comes in the form of internships, as you see on the left side of your screen here. These are just some of the internships that we offer. With us, internships aren't required to graduate, but they are heavily encouraged just because they start so early, and that's what we focus on. Like I said, the hands-on learning and getting that experience early on. So as we kind of progress through the presentation, we just kind of want to know what you are interested in being a part of as we continue, as you continue your time here at Lewis. So once again, scan that code, put that hashtag in, just let us know if you're interested in participating in anything. Sports, any clubs, if you want to be part of the dance team. We also have a Scuba Club here as well. That's pretty new. It's getting a lot of ground, which I'm kind of interested in joining as well. We just hired, as a student worker with us, the president of the Scuba Club. So he's been telling me so many things about it. I'm really eager to have him kind of coach me through some scuba diving lessons. Sports, nice. Club and volunteering, some big things that we have here. Anything specific with sports? Because we will talk about that later. Archery, that's a cool one. That might be with our outdoors club, which we do have available for you. So I know they like to do a lot of different things like hiking, canoeing, archery, I think might be in there, but not too positive. I'm seeing Stephanie shake her head, so she might be saying, yeah, we do have that with the Outdoors Club. All right, got a little bit of something for everybody. All right. Anybody else? Clubs and volunteering, somebody else put that in there, okay. So we actually do have a lot of volunteering opportunities here as well. We'll talk about that a little bit, but that comes primarily through our ministry department. So they put on a lot of volunteering and community service projects. All right, Stephanie, we're gonna move on here. Once again, there's Stephanie. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I lost my cursor. There we go. Good thing for touchscreens. So what goes on at campus? Like I mentioned, we have a lot of different opportunities for you to be engaged within campus. So you have the opportunity to study on 6 different continents for study abroad. As somebody mentioned with volunteering, we do have community service projects, which is a big thing that we like to emphasize here. We like to try to give back to the community as much as possible, just being within the LaSallian mission of us, but also just because we like our community as much, we want to make sure that everybody has the equal opportunity to be able to be engaged with us, but also be engaged within the surrounding community. We also have more than 100 clubs and organizations here on campus. Listen, if you can't find something that you don't want to do, you're more than welcome to start your own club. I believe it takes about 3 to 5 students and one faculty advisor to start up that club, and then you get a small little stipend to start your club. This way you can buy equipment, travel fees, stuff like that. But we also have intramurals and club sports. As you can see in that red dot right in the center, those are just some of the different intramurals and club sports that we do have here. So the guy who runs Intramurals likes to mix it up as much as possible. So he has a wide variety of different games and competitions that he puts on throughout the year for everybody. So we also do have Division II sports here. One sport that is not listed on here is the men's bowling league that we have here as well. So like I mentioned, Division II sports, this does give you an opportunity for athletic scholarships, but all that stuff is handled through coach. I recommend if you are interested in pursuing athletics at the varsity level going into college to reach out to the coach specifically. You can find all of their contact information through our website on the athletics page. That way, reach out to them, let them know that you're interested, see about different opportunities. A lot of them like to see highlight tapes, but really just start that conversation early on just to see the opportunities that might be there for you. So the only team that plays Division I within our school is our men's volleyball team. We do play within the Great Lakes Valley Conference, or the GLVC, so it's always a very competitive conference that we do play in. So this is also another big part of our community where everybody likes to go to those games, cheer on our athletes and their classmates as well. You'll also find professors, teachers, you'll find us there at times, but it's just a really good time to be engaged within the community and everybody. So living on campus, I'm sure people are between living on campus or not. You know, it's always usually a 50-50 split between who wants to go and who doesn't. But that's completely up to you. That's completely up to you and your parents, just what you're comfortable with. So we have 14 different residence halls here on campus, 4 specifically for our incoming freshmen. So we do have a capacity of 1,200 students living on campus right now, with 60% of that 1,200 being freshmen living on campus. So we do have one regulation that was put in place a couple of years ago, is that if you live outside the 30-mile radius, we do require you to live on campus freshman and sophomore year. So you'll be able to find that information on our Residence Life page of the website. If not, you can always reach out to one of us and we can let you know if you live within that 30-mile radius or not. It does go off of zip codes. So if you get confused with that, like I said, reach out to us. We can answer that question for you. Everybody's favorite question, where am I eating? So we do have, like I mentioned earlier, this is not the updated one. We do have 4 dining halls here on campus with 3 meal plans to choose from. That is correct. That does say 2 Starbucks on campus, so you will always be able to get your coffee fix. But we also have a couple different convenience stores scattered throughout campus as well. This is where you can use the debit system that we have within the meal plans to just get something quick to eat. It's really quick, like I said, a little snack bar, cereal, quick drinks, stuff like that. That way you're able to just kind of grab and go if you have to rush between classes or not. So with our tuition, this is always a fun conversation to have. Like I mentioned, we will send out all this information for you, so that way you have all of this information to talk with mom and dad if they're not on this on this video call with us. So tuition for this year is $34,268. If you are looking to live on campus, there's an additional fee of $11,080. As you can see, this is a very, very big number, but I want to let you know that this is not what you will be paying for the year. This is what we call a sticker price. So you do have opportunities to reduce this price as much as possible. Within our application process, you do get automatically considered for a merit-based scholarship. This will be dependent upon your GPA, and if you want to submit an ACT or SAT score. I know things are up in the air and some students aren't able to take that, so we are going test optional, but we'll talk a little bit about that in a second. But with these merit-based scholarships, they range from $13,000 to $18,000 per year. This way, you get that all 4 years, and we will let you know that as soon as we review your application. This comes off of tuition immediately for you. Like I said, this is renewable all 4 years. We also take any external scholarships as well. Anything that you find through your high school, websites, employment opportunities, you're able to, and if you are awarded those scholarships, those can be applied to your tuition and your fees for this year. So talking a little bit about the test optional process is that's something that we are implementing this year to help accommodate for all of our students. Just because with everything going on, we are providing another opportunity for students to still apply to school. So we only need your high school transcript. And if you are deciding to apply test optional, we will require you to submit a personal essay or personal statement, but that's already on the application for you. We are on something called rolling admissions. So we do not necessarily have a deadline to submit your application in. We prefer if it's not 2 weeks before class, but hey, we get some people's situations as well. So we try to help out as much as possible. So you'll see right here this recommended deadline date for December 1st. This is a recommended date for you to submit everything, just so you're able to potentially be considered for scholarship or I'm sorry, additional scholarship opportunities as well. So like I said, no deadlines. The only thing we require is your high school transcript, official high school transcript. So those have to come from your high school counselor. Jumping back a little bit, it's a little jumbled, but with financial aid deadlines, this FAFSA, if you've heard of that, that opens up October 1st. So FAFSA stands for Free Application for Federal Student Assistance. So you're able to apply for this October 1st. You'll have to do this with mom and dad. But that opens up October 1st. This opens up a lot more opportunities to help pay for schooling later on. We'll get that information. You can add up to 10 different schools on that application or on that FAFSA to be able to get what we call a financial aid package sent to you. This way you can see the breakdown of everything that you'll have to pay for the first year. The FAFSA has to be completed each year. So it's not a one and done situation, but it does get easier throughout the years. One thing I do like to mention, especially with financial aid and tuition, is that whatever you're paying freshman year isn't necessarily what you will be paying all 4 years. It's not a locked in tuition, but you're able to apply for more and more scholarships as the years go on to reduce your price as much as possible. So with a couple of the programs that we do have, there are additional fees associated with those, but that comes with specific programs, but not all programs. So it's always a good idea to reach out early on and complete this application early on. So that way we can start that conversation with you a little bit more and make sure that everybody's getting the correct information and as much information as they need. So what's new with Lewis U? So we have decided to, or I'm sorry, not decided, but we have opened up a lot more opportunities for students here on campus. As you can see, we just started electrical engineering. We have included more programs such as computer science plus humanities. So if you are interested in computer science, but also want to do a humanities course or a major as well, so that's history, English, music, stuff like that. You're able to combine those programs in order to make it into one degree for you. We also have computer engineering now being accredited by ABET. We have data science, business analytics, which are now becoming bigger business degrees. So we have opened that up for students. We have also included drone racing for students to be a part of. As you can see on the left down there, we have EA Sports Lounge that just opened up last summer. So that's a big thing with us right now. But we also did receive an MD-80 airplane. I won't go into much detail about that since I didn't see any aviation students within those pollings. But that's on campus. That's officially grounded for us. So it's just a nice little souvenir that we have at campus that students are able to access and utilize if they are aviation majors. So life after Lewis, this is the big thing that you wouldn't really, I guess, consider as you go through your college process. What you're looking at, these percentages are students that have been employed or have attended graduate school after completing their 4 years here at Lewis. So as you see on the right side, 95% of our students who graduate are either employed or attending grad school later on. As you can see, it's a little bit broken up by specific colleges over there. But if you are nursing, which I know that there are a couple nursing students in here, we do have a 95% pass rate for our NCLEX exam. So those are the percentages from 2019. So it is a very high percentage of students getting jobs right after school. That's within that 6 months of graduating from Lewis. So there's a lot of good career outlook for you as well. So I want to thank you all for attending. Like I mentioned, we have all of our contact information here. So in case you do have any questions, you can screenshot this, you can take a picture of this, but you can also find all this information on our website. That will come included with a chat feature that we have. But also it'll have our extensions on there too. So in case you need to give us a phone call or just send us an email. So once again, I want to thank you for attending our presentation, and I hope that we hear from a lot of you just about your time in the application process, but also about future or becoming future flyers with us. So we do have some minutes here, so I don't know if there's any questions that anybody still has. We can put those into the chat feature, and then Stephanie can read them out loud, and maybe we can answer some general questions for you. Are any questions coming in? If anybody wants me to go back to any slides, I can certainly do that as well. Like I mentioned throughout the presentation, we are going to be emailing this presentation out to you within a week or so. Once we get a little bit of contact information, we'll be sending it out for you as well. Oh, it looks like we have a question here. So becoming a nurse, that's actually one of our our top programs here. So it is just a nursing program that we do have here. So it is a direct admit program. So you have to have there's a requirement of a 3.0 weighted GPA in order to be put into that program. We do have a pre-nursing program as well. But like I said, we can always get into that information a little bit later on when you go through the application process with us, or you reach out to us, we can talk a little bit more about specifics on there as well. So great question about the application opening up. So it is opened up right now. So we have two forms of applications. We have just the general Lewis application that you can find on our website, but we're also on the Common App. So you can fill out either of those applications. They're both open right now. We have started the review process. So we are going through as many applications as possible right now. So we have a guideline that we kind of follow, that we try to get decisions out within 2 weeks of receiving all of your materials. So your high school transcript and your application. So within 2 weeks of receiving all of those, you should be hearing something back from us. You'll get a phone call, you'll get an email, and you'll also get something in the mail. So we'll make sure we get in contact with you. So during this application process, when we review everything, we will let you know about your merit-based scholarship and the program that you get admitted into as well. So that way you can kind of get all the information in one shot, but you'll also have our contact information in case you have any follow-up questions as well. Those were two great questions. Does anybody have any other questions? One thing that I forgot to mention within the presentation is the other academic services that we provide for you. So we do have a couple different academic services for you to utilize while you're here. So we have CASE, which stands for the Center for Academic Success and Enrichment. They are there to help you kind of navigate your classes a little bit more, provide some accommodations for you if you need that. If you have an IEP plan or a 504 plan, they're able to help you out, get your accommodations for that. But we also have tutoring that's available to everybody. All this is free of charge for you. So you have the tutoring, you have the writing center, but also you have the career services as well. Those last two, the writing center and career services, are a big influence for students to get additional support with their papers or their resumes, or just looking for internships, or just trying to get some professional development support. Those are two good places to go as well. So we did get another question in here. It says, so just asking for an average SAT score for us right now. So as of right now, and with last year's numbers, we have an average test score of an ACT being about 22 to 23, and I believe that that's equivalent to about an 1100 to an 1140 or an 1160. Ooh, so this is a good question. Do we provide a career becoming a translator? So we do have a foreign language degree here. I'm not too familiar with how, or the career outlooks with that, but I'm sure if you reach out to one of us, or even the professor specifically, if you can find one on the website, they would be more than happy to answer those questions for you. Actually, what's going to be better and a little bit more effective is if you reach out to one of us, and then we can put you in touch with a professor as well that we know, and they can tell you a little bit more about the career outlooks of becoming a translator. All great questions so far. Man, you're all just gonna make me stare right at this computer screen here. It's okay if you don't have questions. Like I said, I'll actually back this this slide up a little bit so you have all of our contact information. We should have done that previously. But as you can see, you have my information, Stephanie's information. So in case you do have any specific questions after this, feel free to reach out to us. We can answer those questions for you. If you don't want to ask them in the chat, that's completely fine. But if you do have any more specific questions, reach out to us so we can help you out a little bit. So with our with our merit-based scholarships, though, it does range a little bit. We are updating our scholarship criteria for our merit-based scholarships. So this is a better question to answer or to ask just us specifically and more privately. That way we can have a conversation about that. So like I mentioned, feel free to reach out to one of your counselors or one of the counselors, either myself, David, or Stephanie, and we can answer that question for you.
I believe the last question really opens up to additional questions, such as the minimum requirements for certain programs. Certain programs are limited admission. That means that that means that the minimum requirements are a little bit different for each, such as nursing, biology are going to be a little bit different than maybe criminal justice and psychology. So if you do have questions about what should your GPA or test score be to be admitted into each program, feel free to send it on the chat, or feel free to email us directly and we can address those questions for you as well.
So it's good to know for next time when we do a presentation like this that I should just bring something to juggle a little bit just in the process. You know, really kind of lightens the mood a little bit and kind of gives people a chance to just kind of formulate some questions. I have markers here, but I don't think those will juggle as easily.
Another question that we typically get is regarding AP and dual acceptance classes. So if you are taking AP classes and you're planning on taking the test, or if you're taking a dual acceptance class through JJC, Wapansi Community College, Moraine Valley, etc., or maybe just another college, we definitely accept those. So make sure that you submit your official test score over to Lewis University, as well or your official high school transcript. I'm sorry, your college transcript, and we will review that and award you the appropriate college credit.
Well, it looks like we're slowly losing people, but once again, I want to say thank you for attending our presentation. We will be in touch very shortly. So once again, recommend taking a screenshot of this contact information just to get in touch with us in case you have any specific questions that you're looking to get answered. But you can also find your specific counselor through our website under the admissions tab.
Wonderful. Thank you both so much for the great presentation today, Stephanie and Tyler. As you are heading off today, just wanted to give you a quick reminder that as you close out of this browser and the screen, that you're going to get a quick 4-question survey. Please answer that survey as it's so useful for us as the presenters to have that information and use that in the future towards future presentations. Also, if you'd like to sign up for more sessions, either college sessions or any sessions in regards to preparing for the admissions process, please visit IACAC.org and register there. Or if you'd like to go back and watch the recording for any sessions, you can also see those online at IACAC.org. But thank you all so much for your time this evening and have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday night.